Okay. So the affirmative says that with the exclusionary rule, police can be on the same side as the criminals, and she lists all these examples of how crime has gone up and criminals are starting to do bad things with the exclusionary rule. Well, we have evidence that police back up. They want the exclusionary rule to stay in act. The head of the narcotics section of the organized crime division in the Chicago Police Department had stated that I will not do anything to the exclusionary rule. It makes the police department more professional, and it enforces appropriate standards of behavior. Also, another police department at the New York City Police Department, James had stated prior, the fact is the exclusionary rule is the best deterrent to illegal searches and seizures, that the best minds in the United States have been able to devise this plan and enforce, and have law enforcement officers have unchecked powers to authorize and exclude searches and seizures of persons and property. And also at the New York Police Department, the commander, who is now retired, and police chief states, over the ensuing decade, cops learned to obtain warrants, secure evidence, and prepare cases, and arrests that have been clouded by sloppiness, illegalities, and recklessness were now much fewer and much tidier. So those are evidence to back that police want the exclusionary rule into act. And her second point was that police misconduct. Well, the exclusionary rule controls for police misconduct. In the defense of the exclusionary rule written by Timothy Lynch, he says critics of the exclusionary rule often stress that they wish to replace it with a more effective remedy for illegal police searches. The substitute remedies typically offered is a civil damage action that would enable victims of unlawful searches to sue police departments for monetary damages. And history shows that where courts do not employ the exclusionary rule, the problem of police unlawfulness gets worse. So that's one evidence for how the exclusionary rule controls for police misconduct. Also, written by Michael Cook, he states that the purpose of the exclusionary rule is to deter police misconduct. If a police officer violates a citizen's Fourth Amendment right to be free from illegal search and seizures, the evidence is to be suppressed in the federal court. To her fourth point, or third point of the Fourth Amendment protects Americans. The Fourth Amendment protects American citizens, and it does this through the exclusionary rule, that it protects from unlawful police searches. Written by Nancy Pelosi, she's in the House of Representatives, and she states that the exclusionary rule is what protects Americans against unreasonable search and seizures and invasions of privacy of law enforcement officers. It does not undermine the ability of the police to enforce the law. Indeed, it has been part of the training given to all federal law enforcement agents since 1914. The director of the FBI has ensured that the exclusionary rule and have stated the rule does not hinder the FBI's work. And the exclusionary rule works because it creates an incentive for law enforcement officers to now legally search and seize standards. By passing the bill, the law enforcement will actually have an incentive not to know the law.
All right, I got to cut you off here. It's been 5 minutes, so.
Oh, she had it too. That's all I kept on.
Sure, her math is
My
bad.
bad.
4-minute rebuttals.
I'm sorry.
That's all.
Okay.